So we've got our doors and our windows placed. We've adjusted our schedules the way we like them. We've got our doors tagged and our windows tagged. And so now we want to move on to the next step, which is placing the components such as the kitchen cabinets, the bathroom fixtures, the washer and dryers, hot water heaters, and such like that. You might also include a furnace or air handler for the air conditioner system. Make sure that you've planned room for all of that. The first thing I'm going to do to just kind of help clear up the view a little bit is turn some of this visibility of these things off. So we can do this a couple of ways. We can pick on the tag. This is a door tag, so I can right mouse click and I could select hide and view by category. Okay, and so that kind of cleared things up. And I could also do my dimensions the same way. I can right click, hide and view by category, and just kind of get my dimensions out of the way. So I cleared my drawing up a little bit, give me some room. I'm going to zoom into the washer and dryer area here, and I'm going to place those washers and dryers. So I'm going to go to the architecture ribbon, and a washing machine and a dryer, those are considered components. So basically everything that's not a wall, door, window, or column, roof, ceiling, or floor, everything else is going to be a component of some sort. So I'm going to select the component, and I'm going to browse. I'm going to choose Load Family, and it defaults to my U.S. Imperial Library. And I'm going to look for specialty equipment, and I'm looking at domestic equipment. And so here's the washing machine at the bottom of the list. So I'm going to pick open. And so now I'm installing a washing machine. There may be a couple of different sizes that you can choose from. And again, if you wanted to edit the type and create your own size, you could do that as well. You want to, if you're actually creating floor plans for a customer or a client, you want to make sure that you know which appliances they've selected to go into their house so that you put those sizes in correctly. So if you notice, I pressed the space bar to rotate the appliance around, and I lined it up and placed it where I'd like. I'm going to go back into the Load Family again. I'm going to browse back to the Specialty Equipment folder, Domestic, and this time I'm going to place the dryer. So again, there's different sizes of dryers. I'm going to rotate by pressing the space bar, and I'm going to place the dryer in its position. For the hot water heater, I'm going to go back to Load Family, and this time the hot water heater is actually in the Plumbing, Architecture, Equipment, Water Heaters, Water Heater. So sometimes those things are hard to find. So we're in U.S. Imperial, Plumbing, Architecture, Equipment, Water Heaters. And I'll place the water heater down. Go back to the Modify tool. So now we've got our utility room equipment installed. Next I'll go up into the little bathroom, and I'm going to place the tub, the toilet, and the vanity here. So again, these are all components. So I'm back to component, and I'm going to choose Load Family. These are in the Plumbing, Architecture, Fixtures, Bathtub. There's some two-dimensional bathtubs or three-dimensionals. I prefer to use the three-dimensional rectangular. This is a wall-based feature. Notice the wall in the preview. This means that you have to attach it to a wall. So if I put my pointer over an area where there's no walls, I get the prohibited symbol. But if I move adjacent to a wall, then I can see that the bathtub will go into place. Now I'm going to turn the drain to the outside of the exterior wall by pressing the space bar, left click to place the tub. Now for the toilet, I'm going to go back to Load Family, and again it's in the Plumbing, Architectural, Fixtures, Water Closets is what most people call toilets. So here we have a 3D toilet, and again there's some 2D representations, but if you'll use the 3D you'll get both the 2D and the 3D model. So I'm going to press the space bar to get the rotation that I want, and then I'm going to place the toilet. Next is the vanity, so I'm going to go to load. Let's see, the vanities are not in the fixtures. They're actually going to be into the casework. Vanity, single door. There we go, and I'm going to place a sink in there. So I'm going to go back to load. And that will be a plumbing, architecture, fixture, sink, vanity round. Press the space bar to rotate. Okay, so we've got our bathroom taken care of. You may want to put a countertop in there. I guess we can go ahead and do that. So we'll put load family, casework, countertops, vanity with the round sinkhole. Find my countertop. Notice it's a little bigger than I need. So I'm going to rotate it around the right way. And I'm going to use the handles to size this thing up. Move the hole to the center of my, oops, wrong handle there. I'm going to undo back a couple of steps here. So I'm going to try to get this hole to move to the center of my sink. Okay, and then I'm going to stretch the length of the cabinet to my wall. There we go. Now we got a cabinet top in there. I don't know why that's stretching. I'm really struggling here, so you may find yourself doing the same. So I'm going to move it out just a little bit. So I wanted to get a little bit of overhang, and then I'm going to stretch it back to the wall. There we go. The hole still lacks a little bit being exactly right. Seems like the worse I mess with it, the worse it gets. Alright, so let's move on. Now, the next thing we want to do is work on the kitchen. A lot of times the kitchen is going to take more time than any of the components. So I'm going to start the kitchen off, and then I'm going to show you how to install the base cabinets and the wall cabinets and the refrigerator, and then I'm going to stop the video and you can finish the rest on your own following the instructions shown on step 5 of the handout, or actually step 6, to show the kitchen details of this particular structure that I'm looking for. So I'm going to go to insert component again. I'm going to load the family, and we're looking at casework, base cabinets. I'm going to start in the corner, so I like to use the base cabinet with the corner angled. So we'll place it right in the corner. And you might zoom in there a little closer and put that right in place. And then we'll go and install another base cabinet right next to it. So we'll go to load family, casework, base cabinet, single door, not the vanity, base cabinet, single door. You can do a single door. You can do a single door with the drawers. It just depends on what it is you want to do in this particular case, and based on the specifications that I've given you in the drawing. So we can place those down, and that cabinet's probably going to be too wide because we still need to put a refrigerator in here, so we're going to make this cabinet a 12-inch base cabinet. And then we're going to reposition it back up against the other cabinet. Now we've probably got room for a refrigerator there. We may have to move our door just a little bit. We'll go back to Insert Components, Load Family, and the refrigerator is going to be in Specialty Equipment, Domestic, Refrigerator. Okay, so we've placed those down. The next thing we might want to place in would be another double door cabinet here for where our sink's going to go. So we'll load that family. Casework, base cabinets, cabinet double door, sink unit. The insertion point is always the place that should go on the wall. So if you're, this is just a dash line rectangle in this plan view, but if you don't put it in the right way, when you look at it in a 3D view or your elevation views, you'll be looking at the wrong side of the cabinet. So the insertion point is always on the place that should go near the wall. So I'm going to load in some more base cabinets. I'm going to do a single door with a drawer, maybe. Already had that one loaded, so I'm going to make sure I've got a single door with a drawer. We'll try a 21-inch. And I'm going to place another base cabinet with the corner. So once you've loaded that family in, it should show up as your listed there correctly. So we're going to turn it that way, and then we're going to go back to another double door with drawers. I don't have a double door with drawers, so I'm going to load that. So we're going to go to casework, base cabinets, base cabinet double door with drawers. Base cabinet, double door with drawers. There we go. And I might make it a little bit narrower. The default's 30 inches. That'll probably work. Okay, so I think that's all of our base cabinets that we need. The next thing we want to do is maybe place our countertops in. And countertops are a little bit tricky in that you may have to reposition the hole for the sink, kind of like what I worked on the vanity there. So we've got countertops that we can load in. Load family, and that's under casework, countertops. We need a countertop L shape with a sinkhole. That's one that will go in our first corner where our sink belongs, so I'm going to load that one in. So I already had that countertop loaded, so I have to go and choose it from my list. And I got to rotate it the correct direction, and I'm going to place it right in the corner. And notice that the fit is not quite what I'm looking for, but I'm going to make some adjustments. Using these handles, I can just kind of slide it to the appropriate spot. This one will stop right. We'll go halfway here. And then the sink adjustments, I can manipulate those using the parameters over here in the properties palette. So the sink location and the sink width to the wall, distance to the wall, and the sink opening. So I might shrink this one down to 3 feet. See which way it goes. Looks like I've got that pretty well centered there. So the next thing I want to do is add another countertop to go this way. So I'm going to go in and load another component. So I pick component, load family. This time I want a countertop. It's in the casework, countertops, countertop L shape, like so. I'm going to place it right in the corner just like we did before. And I'm going to use my modify tool, pick my countertop, and I'm going to drag it to the end of the other ones, and then the overhang, however much overhang I want here. So now we've got our countertops in. I'm going to place my kitchen sink. So that's a component, load families, down to specialty, I think it's actually plumbing, architecture, fixtures, sinks. Kitchen double here would be nice. You can see that maybe that's the quite large version there. See if there's a smaller one available. There's not, so I can do a couple of things. I could keep the big sink or make my hole bigger, but I think what I should do is make a smaller sink. So I'm going to go into the sink, edit type, duplicate, and I don't think I need a 42-inch long. I'm going to make it 34 inches long. So the width is going to be 3 feet. Actually, it's going to be 34 inches. Made it nice and small, and then we can move it into the center of our hole here. Our countertops are not quite lining up right here. I think the whole thing is out too far. I can use the align tool on the modify ribbon. So I'm going to keep that one there, move that one to there, and lock it down. Alright, so we've got our countertops in, we've got our base cabinets, and now we want to do our wall cabinets. So we just need to go back to architecture, component, load family, casework, wall cabinets. And again, I'm going to start in the corner. So I've got a corner wall cabinet here. And make sure that you're having the wall cabinet. And notice the 12-inch depth on this. You may want to adjust that to be larger or smaller, but again, you can do that with the type parameters. And we're going to put this right up against the wall. So there's your base cabinets, countertops, sinks, and wall cabinets. So go ahead and place the remaining of the wall cabinets to finish this project, and you should be set. If you have any questions, give me a call or send me an email. Thanks.